like we always do, please put your name on the back of it. So on the sticky side, I will be giving you a question up here on the board shortly that I want you to answer on there. So just put your name on there. I don't know.
We don't have school Friday.
What's the right on this?
I haven't put it up.
Coffee?
Hey, so
My dad likes his coffee just.
name on the back of that sticky note. And what I would like you to do you're going to do 2 questions for me. So you might want to number 1 and 2. For number 1, find the area in the polygon.
Jared, did you get 32 inches square?
Number 2, find the area of the polygon. Please use proper labels. Labels are centimeters. You're finding area.
Do you want us to put it on the board?
Stick it right over on this side for me, please. Make sure your name is on the back. Make sure you have 2 answers.
Inches are in a foot. 12. 12 if I'm correct.
Yeah, you are. So, how many feet then is 17 inches?
Did I not do that right?
That's what I'm wondering.
When you have your answer, please put it up here.
12 times 6.
Okay, but what I should not see is you then turn around talking to the people around you.
So, Mr. Lewis is approximately 6 feet tall. So he's approximately 72 inches. Is that the size of your dog? So you might want to think about that one. Because that's a large foot that you've got.
Okay, so
Um,
again, 2 answers.
I wear size 6.
Okay, but sometimes our sizes don't match up with feet. So
This should
if
be
you
up on the
look at your
board
foot,
when you're done.
approximately how many inches do you think it is? That's what you're trying to guess.
Mine would probably be like
15? So, how many feet is 15?
That's 1 foot.
Okay, so if you think about a ruler, is your foot about the ruler?
No, it's even smaller than that. It's even smaller than that. Why are you shooting me?
Nice to see you too.
Oh, yeah, too. Oh, you're doing a video shoot too. But it's 9 inches. I didn't know I
So
could.
it would be approximately 10.
10.
The 72 just seems like
Okay, I just sipped it.
two
Mine is around 9
About
feet.
5 foot. 5 foot.
Okay, so. What?
How did you figure out your equivalent?
It's in the round
I did 32.
drawer bin thing that's left, on the left, Okay,
I'm just picking through all your answers.
Name 3 equivalent lines. So 1/3. So if you were to divide 2 and 6 down, that could go into 1/3. Those two, I didn't put thought in. I just know if those two can't. That would have to be 3/9. And
3 ninths? How did you get 3 ninths?
because 4/9.
You said you
I got the denominator 9 because if you were to divide,
can divide 8 by 9.
you could divide. No, if you were to so pretend if that was 9 because thought that was supposed to be 9 to denominator because if you should divide that
Okay,
could go down to
so-
Oh, so
that
you
could go down to 3.
You want this to be 3 ninths instead? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? So not that. What does that divide down to?
2.
So 1/2.
all right.
Or is half of 8. Okay, what about this one?
So, what I'm seeing up here,
6/12. Another one.
6/12.
almost every one of these, I'm seeing an answer of 32, and we're talking about the two that I gave you, the sticky note. I'm seeing an answer of 32 inches squared, and I'm seeing an answer of 45 centimeters squared.
4.
So 2
Um,
would be that what that divides down to?
For the
It's
most
not
part,
the same as 1/3.
we all did that. So, what shape do we have in that first one? What shape is that? What are we working with?
What are you talking about? Oh, the front is
In this first one, what shape was it? Everybody should know because you all showed that you got the answer. So what shape is that? What were you working with here? Class, what shape?
trapezoid.
It's a trapezoid. So you could use the formula for trapezoid. We didn't talk about that formula. What about the second one?
School. No, it's a type of. It's a square, kind of square, because your lines never meet.
It's a parallelogram. What does it mean though to be a parallelogram? What do we have to look for in a parallelogram? There's certain like something to help you figure out what is a parallelogram, Gracie? 2 sets of parallel. Because these are parallel, these are parallel. And then how do you know the difference between that being a parallelogram and that not being one? This being a trapezoid. Like, what is a trapezoid? AJ?
Oh, wait.
To be a trapezoid, what do we have to, how do you know it's a trapezoid?
Because it,
Matthew? Parallel sides. So, trapezoids have one set of parallel, parallelograms have 2 sets. That's how you can tell the difference. All of this ties into our first purpose, which is students will understand that using the proper formula will help them find the area, volume, or surface area of a figure. So knowing those formulas, or knowing how to apply those formulas. But you have to know what the figure is first. You have to know, is the figure a trapezoid, parallelogram? You know, is it 3D? Is it 2D? And that also goes into, we kind of have 2 purposes today. Our other one is, students will understand that it is important to read each question and look for keywords. Like on your study guide, I caught some of you yesterday doing things like, it said find the volume, and I had people doing surface area. So you have to watch for those keywords. Notice, like, does it say find area? Does it say find volume? Surface area. What is it telling you to look for and find? So pay attention to that. From your DMR, let's let's look at number 4. Name 3 fractions equivalent to 1/3. What are some fractions equivalent to 1/3? What do we got? Sam, what's one that you have?
2/6.
2/6? How'd you get that?
Because I multiplied 1 by 2 and 3 by 2.
Good. Megan?
I got 8.
Say it again. 8/24. How'd you get that? Times by 8. Okay. Anybody else? Another one? Piper? How'd you get that? Okay. So on all of these, what do we have to make sure we do to find that equivalent fraction? Well, times what? So we have to times both the 1 and the 3 by a number. The same number. All right. If you would, please. DMR, go ahead and put away. And would you get out your study guides? You're probably gonna have to read it off. Thank you. This paper is a little bit darker.
What if they're not there on the test?
Wait, what? Can those be on the test? Can those be out there for the test?
Don't you know?
No.
Even
I don't know that by heart. I mean, I know it because I look at it.
I know you did that. But you posted really fast. I don't even think I saw you look up there.
I mean,
All right.
still
So
up there for like a good reminder.
here's on that first one. It says define area. Define area.
Wait, what's the problem?
Number 1. Define area. What I want you to do is talk to the people next to you first. Tell them what you wrote down for just the define area. You'll have to jump in somewhere.
I put area as the sum of the face. The sum of the face.
So sum means what?
Addition.
What does it mean? What is area?
Find area?
Or you're gonna have to find your part. Everyone here is
No.
saying-
That's just what makes me think of when you say sum. What do you mean?
Oh my
Okay, we go.
gosh.
So what are we thinking? How can we put our stuff together and come up with a one response? It seems like you all agree it's a 2D figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said enough.
Is it inside or outside of the photo? Inside. Okay.
How many? Well, it's kind of how many units can fill up the 2D figure.
And what kind of units are there?
Units, square
Square
units.
units. Wow.
How many?
All right. So, Caden, tell everybody what you have. Yeah.
Area is how much space is on a 2D figure.
So like space in a 2D figure. Gracie? Inside measurement of a polygon. Could it be more than just a polygon? Could we do area of other things? Yeah. Sam?
How many units it can fill up a 2D figure?
2D. So something that we kind of hit on in different ways, but can we talk about, are we talking about like a 3-dimensional figure right now?
No.
What if I said area of a or like it's the space inside a 3D figure? Would that work?
No, because that's volume.
That's fine. So we have to think about it in 2-dimensional, and it's that space that fills that up. So then it says, give some examples of when you would need to find area. When would you need to find area? Right?
When you're trying to
But would that be area or would that be volume? That would be volume. That's a good example for volume though. Megan, what'd you have? Laying carpet. When you go to put carpet down, do you need to know how much area you need to cover?
Yeah.
Well, perimeter would just be distance around. So if we figured out the distance around, that'd be putting carpet just around the outside edge. So would we need to know, like for this room, would we need to know the area of this room to lay carpet down in this room?
Yeah.
If we didn't know the area, we could lay carpet, but we might end up with a bunch of extra, or
less.
we might carpet half the room and then not have any more. Good example, King? Painting a wall. Okay, so, and we had this example when we did surface area. You guys remember that from the quiz? He's painting the walls. How many gallons of paint is he gonna need if it covers like 450 square feet? Well, you need to know how much wall space you're painting in order to buy the right number of gallons. So, when you're thinking area is working with what? Two-dimensional, three-dimensional?
Two-dimensional.
Two-dimensional.
It can be
What if-
three-dimensional.
So, you might be hitting on what I was just gonna ask. Why, Sam?
Because you have surface area.
Okay, so that was actually what I was going to next. How, because surface area is of 3D figures.
Yeah, but it's.
But what do we usually do to those 3D figures to find surface area? Sam, go ahead.
After you find the faces, you add up all the numbers together to get your area for the
Okay.
total.
And what did we do with those boxes to find them, Haley? We made them into nets. So we took a 3D figure and we turned it into
2D big.
2D. So even though it was from a 3D, we turned it into two-dimensional because of the net. All right. Working through here, let's go to question number 2 on our study guide. Something to keep in mind. You know, add things in if you don't have them. If you did it wrong, fix it. We're making a study guide that's helpful to you. The other thing, you know, as we go along, like we have up here, students will understand that it is important to read each question and look for keywords. So if I read question 2, am I just gonna go right to here and start working on it? Probably should read what it's asking me to do first, right?
Yeah.
Because what if it would have said, what if they wanted perimeter? And you just saw this and said, oh, I'm gonna find area.
You'd get it wrong.
Get it wrong. So, I want you, as we go through these, on questions, I want you circling the keywords. When you get to the test on Thursday, I want you in questions circling keywords. So everybody, as we go through this, I want you doing this. Even if you've already done the question, I want you working on looking for keywords. So number 2, based on, we talked about looking for keywords. What are we finding in number 2? What does it say to find? Anybody, what does it say to find?
Area.
Area. Circle that word, underline that word, do something to show I'm finding area. I'm finding area. Okay, then you're given some information. Think about what shape is the polygon, what formula did you use? So what shape are we working with here?
A triangle.
Everybody agree? Thumb up if you agree. Triangle. Because sometimes we have some people that were still a little like, well, give me a thumb up if you agree that the first one in number 2 is a triangle. Should have thumb up. If you're not sure or don't agree, thumb down. Okay, so do we have a formula for triangles?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. What is it?
Base times height divided by 2.
Good. Okay. Who has an answer for us? What would be our answer to the area of the triangle? Zyla.
Wait, what'd he say?
84. What'd you do?
I did 41 times by 8.
It's not feet or inches.
Okay, so Zyler said he did 21
Times it.
times by 8. And and then you divide it by 2. And you got 84. And actually the one line is for feet. 2 lines is inches. Okay, if you didn't know. Alright. Zyler said he did 21 times 8 divided by 2. And he got 84 feet squared. I want you right now to check with the people around you. Do you agree with that answer? Do they agree with this answer? If not, discuss with them. Only on the triangle right now.
So can you guys do this as a mental math problem? How would you do it?
I did.
You can do 21 times 8 in your head.
I probably.
I know you know, but I just 84.
You can do the 4 because you just did 8 slice that in half. Make it easier.
All right, so looking at and going around and listening to a lot of you, seems like most of you agree with this answer.
Yeah.
So everybody agreed that we did 21 times 8, as I was listening to you. So what I want to know is why did we not use 17 or 10? Why did you not use that? How many people know why we're not using the 17 and the 10? Lily, what do you say? Not curved, slanted. Do we use slanted lines, class?
No.
No, only when we're finding perimeter. When you're finding perimeter, because you need to know the distance around it. But if you're finding area, do we ever use the slanted lines?
No.
No. Remember we talked about that. They don't measure your height at a slant. So we don't use slanted lines, so you don't need to worry about those. So then if we go to the next one, we have 8, 7, and 4. If I said that the answer was 56 centimeters squared, thumb up if you think I'm right, thumb down if you think I'm wrong. I'm saying it's 56 centimeters squared. So thumb up if you agree with me, thumb down if you disagree. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of thumbs down. So let me change it. 28 centimeters squared. All right.
Same shape. What shape is this?
I did that. I divided by
What about
32.
32 centimeters squared?
So when we're taking the test, we do need to stop and think about it.
Okay, so
What shape it is?
Yeah.
I divided by 2.
what about,
You're
let me ask
you're on
this.
secret class, I think. It's like-
What you say?
What shape is this?
Parallelogram.
It's a parallelogram. It's not a trapezoid. If you looked at it as a trapezoid, you might have done something wrong here. How do we know it's a parallelogram and not a trapezoid? We've already talked about this once. Parallelograms have what?
2 sets of parallel lines.
2 sets. So there's one here, and there's the other one there. 2 sets. And for parallelograms, it's just length times width or base times height.
You'd have to divide by 2 and add the 2.
So you're just doing length times width or base times height. Alright, here's what I want you to do. For number 3, 4, and then 4, I want you to talk at your rows, or partners, whichever works easier for you. Talk, jump somewhere. Talk and see what you got for answers. I want you to check with each other. Did they have the same as you? If not, talk through. What did you do? How did you get that? Go.
Number 3.
Because don't we usually think base is on the bottom?
Yeah, but they have to have.
Okay, so how do you know that these are the bases and not like that? How do you know this? How are we all going to know this? When we go to take that test, how are we going to know where our bases are? Sam?
Because if you know if it's a trapezoid, it has one set of parallel lines.
Yep. And those are your...
Bases.
So, in a trapezoid, your one set of parallel lines are your two bases. The other thing we know is the bases are connected by what?
The height.
The height. The height connects the two bases. So she got 484 and 5/10 yards squared. Thumb up. You agree? Down if you disagree. What'd you get for that one? We have 484 and 5/10 yards squared. Thumb up if you agree. If you don't agree,
You're wrong.
this is correct.
That's what she said.
So, you might want to be changing yours, fixing your study guide. Here's the thing. Guys, on your calculator, could you just go through and type in 18 plus 39 times 17 divided by 2 equals, and we get our answer?
No.
way.
No, because these calculators do what?
Order of operations.
They do order of operations.
Smart for us.
If you put in your parentheses, then you're okay. But be careful, don't just put it all in and it equals and then
I usually
think you got it. Okay. Okay, this one down on this one and he split it here.
No, I didn't.
And you got 230 inches squared. How'd you get 230 there? What'd you do? So we did 23 times 10. Over here we got 64. Looks like you did 8 times 8. Then you added them together. You got 294 inches squared. What do we think on that one?
But I got the same answer.
What do you think on that one? You agree? Do you disagree? What do you think?
I agree.
Agree? Disagree? Where are we at?
We up there. Because I'm all the way up.
Do we have to split that one up somehow in order to find it?
Yes.
Did anybody add in the missing piece and then take it back out?
No.
Nobody did it that way?
Nope.
You guys are different though.
I did mine the up way.
So you split
Yeah.
there?
Uh-huh.
So then you did 18 times 8 and you did 15 times 10?
Yeah. I
Still
got
have the same answer.
150 and 144.
Good. Okay, going over to this one.
Yup.
I want, yeah. Yeah.
Answer or?
Nope, come. Let's see it. Your revolution. So,
Would you like
One of those.
Yeah, I should.
Disagreeing with me.
Next time.
But my original.
Why you subtract these two? Oh, you had to get your height. What are you doing? Look at this dude. Mr. G, can I do the next problem, please?
So how do you know your answer's correct?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Excellent point. What formula did you use for number 5?
I'm not sure. I did 20, 23 times 16. Which one? 23 times 16. Okay. Now I know that divided by 2.
The teacher's right.
that's 11.
My mistake.
Should I bow now?
184.
What?
Centimeters squared.
I was right.
Perimeter
On one of them. I was right on one of them.
All right. So, give me 5. Okay. Let's look through what Garrett did. First, I want to know how many people split right there like he did. How many people split there? So most of us did that. Okay, so let's talk through this way first. If you split there, Jared, how did you find the 152 inches squared? What did you do to get that?
8 times 19.
So he did 8 times 19 because you have your length, you have your width of the rectangle. So it's just 8 times 19. It's just that rectangle, 8 times 19. But then we get down to this trapezoid, and I'm guessing this is where a lot of people.
Messed up. Didn't understand. Did not understand.
So, all the way across is what? It's 8, right?
Yeah.
And then they give you 3. Does everybody see how this piece down here is a trapezoid? We have 2 parallel sides. We have the other sides that are not. So you would have to do 8 plus 3. That base and that base. 8 plus 3. You get 11. You times it by the height. Jared times it by 4. How did he get 4? I don't see a 4 anywhere on here. Where did a 4 come from? Addie?
Okay, so you have 19 on that one on the right side, but then you gotta make it to 23, so you gotta add up to 23. And so if you add 19 plus 4, it's 23.
So she said you have 19 here, 23 here. You got to add 4 to 19 to get to the 23, so that's why that is 4. Sounds good. Do you agree?
Yeah. Just never.
How many people agree with that?
You could do 23 minus 19.
You could do 23 minus 19 as well. So Addie said she did 19 plus 4 to get up to 23. Gracie took 23 and just took the 19 out of it and got 4. So that's where his 4 came from. So 8 plus 3 is 11, times 4 is 44, and then we divide by 2 to get 22. And then Jarrett, what'd you do to get this?
152 plus 22.
And he got 174 inches squared.
I agree.
On questions like this, remember, you have to break them up into parts. Here's one of the more common mistakes I see with a question like this one. People look at this shape and they say it's a trapezoid. It looks pretty close to a trapezoid, right?
That's what I thought.
But why is it not? Well, there's more to it than that. You're right, there are 2 parallel sides, but there's more. Matthew? There's 5 sides.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but
It's alright. There's 5 sides. But it looks very close to a trapezoid, so a lot of people just instantly assume they're working with a trapezoid. So that's where you go back to paying attention. Like, one, not just looking for keywords, like our purpose says, you're looking for keywords in the problem, but also just looking at the shapes themselves. Take a second and count. Is there 5 sides? Is there 3 sides? Is there 4 sides?
Use your study guide to help you because question number 3 clearly says find the area of a trapezoid. So if that shape is a trapezoid, can this other shape be a trapezoid?
Nope.
No. I mean, it's almost helping you out there. So as long as you're reading those keywords, like Mr. Gross said.
But a lot of it comes down to just slowing down to one, read those keywords, but then also take some time and actually look at it. What do you got there? All right, let's go to, we don't have written up here. Up here, it's not even part of the purpose, because our purpose was to use the formulas to find area, volume, and surface area, but now we kind of thrown perimeter in there. Do we have really a set formula for perimeter, I guess you will? No, but what do we do to find perimeter? Ryan? So Ryan says you add up around the outside. AJ, do you agree? Kate, do you agree with what Ryan said?
Like, I was gonna say like I agree with him, but like I think I should just like add all the numbers together around it.
As long as they are outside.
Yeah, outside.
Because if we had a number going through the middle, is that part of it?
No.
Okay, so, perimeter. Let me hear it. What do you got? Say it.
66 centimeters.
Okay, so I heard just 66. I heard 66 centimeters. I heard 66 centimeters squared.
Why did I?
Those are three, in my opinion, really three different answers. Which one is the correct one? Every one of them had the same number, but we need to think about our labels. Zeb, what do you say?
6 centimeters.
Why just centimeters?
Because the two you don't like times anything, you just add the letter around it.
Good. So, when we do perimeter, is perimeter labeled squared?
No.
Is it cubed?
No.
What gets squared? When we find
Area.
what gets cubed?
Volume.
Okay, perimeter, it's just the label. Like Zeb said, you're not multiplying anything, you're just adding the numbers up. Okay, so now we need to find the area. Are we going to use all three of our numbers to find area of the triangle?
Nope.
What numbers are we using? What numbers are we using? Zyla,
16 centimeters and 43.
why are we not using 27 centimeters? Piper? Slanted. So what's our area? What's the area? Chaos? Huh? 368. Is that what you said? Ella? 184 centimeters squared. Piper, what do you think? So you, same as Ella? Zyla, you have, with which one? Ella, Katie? Gillis, what did you? And you know, we talked a lot about that. It's a very easy mistake to make, that dividing by 2 part. That's where using the proper formula, don't forget, you know, think back, double check yourself. What shape am I working with? Triangle. What's the formula? Base times height divided by 2. You know, something that might help some of you is when you get to the shape, what if we did this? You're writing out your formula so you don't forget. So then you're like, okay, I'm doing a triangle. I need to do base times height. Now I need to divide by 2. You know, just those little things. Because what I'm seeing is you guys know how to do these. I wouldn't say, I'd say pretty much everybody in this class has this down of what to do. It's just forgetting steps at times. And that's where slowing down. Maybe writing out the formulas next to there. And then just replace the letters with the numbers you need. You know, looking at what's my formula? And then what keywords? What am I doing? What am I using? So our answer should be, what was it again?
184 centimeters square.
Okay. Next, what I'd like you to do. So why I use class post-it notes and what I'm looking for. It's an easy way to see each kid's answer and if they're getting it or not. I have them put their names on the back of it so nobody can see their names. And then when they put their answer on there, they stick them on the board, and then it gives me a quick way to go through each one and look to see if they have the correct answer. And if they don't have the correct answer, I go and either pull them up or sit down by them and talk to them about what they did wrong or ask them what they did, how they got the answer, so we can correct it. It's just a really quick check on each individual student. If you have a co-teacher, it works really, really well. Jay and I do this a lot, and one of us will continue on with class and the other one will go and sit with the kids individually and just talk through real quick with them. So it's not making the rest of the class wait for that one or two individuals. And it's just a really quick, easy check. So I like to use Choral Response. It's a great way to get all the kids to answer. Kids sometimes feel a little bit more comfortable sharing an answer because everybody's yelling out one. And then it's nice too, because if you hear other answers or wrong answers, you can address the whole class, and so they can hear, like, for instance, we have in the video, the answer should have been 66 centimeters, and there was 66 centimeters, 66, and 66 centimeters squared. And so they all had the right number, but they all had different labels, or different kids had different labels. And so it gave me an easy way to talk with the whole class about why the label should just be centimeters, not centimeters squared, and why not putting a label on isn't right either. So it really gives you a way to hear multiple answers and then address the whole class as one, and you're not putting kids on the spot, you're not making kids feel like, oh, they did it wrong, and they'll know if they got it right or wrong, and then if they hear you say the right one, then they know kind of what they did wrong.